The best of the morning to you. This is Monday with Friday, preparing you for a better week ahead. 45 years ago, on the morning of Monday, August 29, 1977, I was leaving home for the first time, getting on an aircraft for the first time, and crossing international boundaries for the first time. I had just graduated high school, the great San Fernando Government Secondary in South Trinidad, lovingly and better known as ModSec. And earlier that year in February, I felt a strong sense of purpose that we Christians define as a calling that veered me away from academic and professional pursuits of a different kind. Instead, I was now on my way to begin studies and preparations for service as a Christian minister. The stamp on my fresh new passport that read, quote, "Embarked August 29, 1977, unquote, means more than just what an immigration officer intended. For me, those words remained seared on my mind throughout all these years as a kind of touchstone to remind me that I embarked on a life that has taken quite a bit of turns. First, long story short, I attended 2 different institutions over the next 6 years in 2 different countries, and the experience in both places changed my life immensely, left cherished memories, and bore me lifelong friends, and in one case, lifelong relatives. Funny as it sounds, although I was heading off to seminary, I never had any intentions of becoming an ordained clergy person. I had been quite active in various Christian youth organizations, and I had a sense that I wanted to offer some kind of leadership to that demographic. As well, I had always been possessed of a little bit of wanderlust, and so I imagined that one day I might become a missionary. And when I considered myself a missionary, I somehow always thought of the African continent. Maybe the spirits were calling me there. Those initial 6 years of theological and ministerial preparation were followed a dozen years later by another 5 years part-time studies in a Master of Philosophy degree program in theology, later on 4 years in a doctoral program in ministry, and then sometime afterwards another 2 in another master's degree program in leadership studies over the span of these 45 years. And guess what? 16 years of post-secondary education, academic studies, have only yielded me more questions than answers about many things, theological, social, and more. We really don't know ourselves as people, but we have to keep asking questions. My life and ministry experiences in scores of congregations along the way in various Caribbean countries, but 2 in particular, in 6 different states in the USA, and in 8 countries on 4 continents in short-term missionary work, with a very near miss of becoming a long-term missionary in my beloved Ghana, Africa, have been all a source of joy, some sorrow, but more than anything else, serious, extensive, deep, and life-changing learnings, not the least of which have occurred as I served sometime along the way as the first and only black pastor of a white church in a conservative state in America, while I myself was becoming something noticeably different from conservative and did not even know it was happening. I opposed the war in Iraq, while that church, a mile from a major military base, was decidedly for that war. I celebrated the increase in the minimum wage that Nancy Pelosi's Congress, the first time she was Speaker, offered Americans, while many in that congregation opposed it. I bemoaned Citizens United, while some in that congregation groaned that I saw it as flawed and unjust, even before I could see the intolerable damage it would do to America and to issues of justice. And that was not the only church where I became the first black pastor in a white congregation. It should be obvious to anyone following me that I have become a different kind of clergy person. I am far less interested in heaven than I am in the hell on earth that many, including many who say they are Christians, but have a variety of warped theologies, create for their fellow humans. My faith and my service are both severely useless if I do not leave this world better than I found it, and use my faith and its documents, primarily the Bible, and that Caribbean part of my Baptist heritage that is emancipator, rather than that part of the American part that is enslaver, to achieve that purpose of transformation. There's just too much in the Bible, too much about Jesus and Jesus's sayings regarding justice, to leave me doing spiritual, ethereal work that never intersects with social transformation and justice for all, including chanting down corrupt powers in governments. 2 days after I left home on August 29, 1977, the country of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago, celebrated its 15th anniversary of independence from Great Britain. In 2 days' time, therefore, from today, I shall celebrate, though from afar, that country's 60th anniversary of independence. Embarked is the first word ever stamped in my first passport that has guided me through 45 years of ministry preparation and 39 years so far of service. I embarked on a journey as a lifelong student and servant, and I have not yet arrived. Embarked. Let me pray for the land of my birth and all its people at home and in the diaspora, that they too have only embarked and shall never have a false sense of security that they have arrived. Emancipation still coming, and there remains plenty of salvation still to be accomplished, though not only in the way some heaven-thinking only Christians do. I am Michael Friday, and your week just got better. I'll see you again next week. Happy Monday, all the way to Friday.